Right now, loads of people are struggling with anxiety. Now that's perfectly understandable, given the current climate of lockdown and this virus. And I think a lot more people have begun to become affected by anxiety, but they don't know why. This could be many reasons. This could be due to the lack of routine, because obviously a lot of people are stuck at home still because of this virus. Obviously people aren't at work, aren't at school, aren't at college or university, etc. And also being stuck in the house probably most of the time over the last 12 or 13 weeks is not good for your mental health. When I had to self-isolate for 2 weeks, quite a few weeks ago now, I really struggled. Even though it was only 2 weeks, after a few days, I began to get really bored. And when I get really bored, I start overthinking things. I start eating rubbish. And then when I start eating rubbish, my anxiety kicks in. And then everybody knows then you go on a downward spiral. But really today, because we are still in lockdown when I've recorded this, I wanted to talk about how I myself am getting through it, as I am a sufferer of anxiety, have done all my life. I've suffered with it all my life, and most of that is down to weight and how big I am, and mostly being gay as well. It makes you anxious because some people don't accept that, unfortunately. But most of all, I just wanted to focus on anxiety today because it's really important now that we help each other, because people now are experiencing anxiety who have probably never experienced it before and don't know what to do. They may not realise that they are struggling with it. They may just think they're bored or it's just one of them days. But I think with that mindset, it will last longer until you admit that you do feel the way you feel. Then I think it will get worse. With me, I've suffered anxiety for as long as I can remember, going back to primary school now, I think. But I only really realised that I had it when I was in high school. So this was about 7 or 8 years ago now. I was always bigger than everybody else. I was always different to everybody else, the way I acted, and just the way I was. And people always used to take the mick out of me for that, and bully me for that, and ridicule me for that. And after all these negative comments, it does have a lasting effect on you. It doesn't matter how many positive comments you may get, but if you get one negative remark, then that will stick in your head more than the positive one. I don't know why that is. It's mad, but that is the way anxiety works, in my opinion. So people always used to call me fat, ugly, freak, four eyes, all these horrible names for someone who's only, 13, say for example. That does affect you. Like now, if somebody called me ugly or freaky, I'll be like, whatever, go away. But then if somebody calls me fat, that's a different kettle of fish altogether. Because if somebody called me fat, then I would immediately let that sink into my head, and I would then get really down, depressed, anxious. I'd stand in front of the mirror for ages because I'd be so worried. Would they think I'm fat? I must be fat. If one person thinks I'm fat, I must be fat. Even though 10 other people have said, no, you're not fat, you look fine. But that doesn't matter, unfortunately, because anxiety doesn't work like that. But now, since lockdown has started, which is about 12 weeks ago now, I think my anxiety's got worse, like many others, because there's nothing that we can do. We've lost our sense of control, we've lost our sense of freedom, we've lost our sense of socialisation as well. We can't see anybody, we can't see our family, our friends. All we can do is go to work, but not everybody can do that. I'm really lucky that I can, because if I couldn't, I think I would have actually gone mad by now. And I think it's important to talk now more than ever about how we feel, because unfortunately some people that don't talk end up in much worse states, and we all know how negatively that can lead and what it can lead to. With me now, I'm mostly just anxious about my weight. As I said, I am constantly looking in the mirror, I'm constantly thinking I'm fat, I'm constantly trying on different t-shirts, which one makes me look thinner, and if none of them make me feel thin, well then I'm not going out. That's how my mind works, unfortunately. I wish it didn't, but that's what years and years and years of name calling, of people calling me fat and ugly, that's what it's done to me. That's not just off bullies, that's off my dad, random people in the streets, people on social media who don't know me. But that's what it does to you, it affects your mind. So I think now it's the time to talk, because there's not much else we can do, really. We need to get that control back, feel like we are back in control of our own lives. This virus isn't in control. That's what we need to remember, and that is the first step to stop someone's anxiety taking over them. For me in particular, like I said, I have struggled in lockdown, but I'm trying to find ways to overcome that, and I did want to kind of share them with you today. Obviously, unlike a lot of people, I am still working, I'm a carer, and I'm so lucky that all throughout this crisis I have been able to go out different houses, obviously unfortunately wearing a shed load of PPE, but that's the way it is, to keep people safe, and that's so be it. But I'm outside most of the day, I walk about 11 miles a day, and that helps massively for me. Walking, going for a walk, listening to music, or just going for a walk without music, whatever you do, it helps massively, because for me it's always helped me think about what's going on in my head. What do I do next? How do I tackle this? And how do I get back to feeling happy again? And I think having that one-to-one session with yourself, ideally with yourself, not with anybody else there, is really important, because then nobody can tell you, well, maybe this is what you should do, or this is how you should feel. But only you know how you feel. So you need to tell yourself how you feel and what you're going to do. Am I going to tell anybody about it? If so, who am I going to tell? I wonder why I'm feeling like this. Now, these are all questions that you may not have answers to, and that's fine. A lot of people didn't. I don't, most of the time. But I think a daily walk, which you are allowed to do, you're allowed to have unlimited exercise now, so that's massively important. That really helps with relieving the anxiety, getting outside, getting fresh air, seeing other people, maintaining social distancing, obviously. And with me especially, I have to listen to music. For me, I listen to Sia, because she is my inspiration. I'm going to do a video as well one day about how Sia saved my life, because that's something I really want to do, and it's very important to me to discuss that. But listening to music, whether it's sad songs, happy songs, it helps me, because it helps me relax and it helps me think. Just breathe. listen to the music, relax, focus on what you're doing today, not next week. Focus on what you're doing today and what you're going to achieve today. So for me, it is literally working, making sure everybody I'm with is happy and comfortable, the family especially, and trying to smile as well. When I mostly listen to happy songs because they make me walk down the street and smile because I listen to the lyrics. If you listen to the lyrics, understand the story that song is telling you, and that can help massively, in my opinion. Also, like I said before, I think talking is massively important. If you talk to your mum, your dad, your sister, your brother, your nan, your granddad, or even just your friend on the phone or on Facebook or anything, then that can help because you never know, they could be suffering with anxiety too. It's very, very common. It was before lockdown, it is during lockdown, and it will be after lockdown. And that's a fact. I think I will struggle with it for some time yet until I lose weight, because it's only until then I think I will feel comfortable. It's different for every person because every person's got a different battle. But anxiety can affect your sleep, it can affect your mood with your friends and your family, it can affect you wanting to do anything, and it can lead to much worse things. For me, it led to depression, body dysmorphia, just generally being a bit short with people as well, which is something I didn't want to be. And over my life, anxiety has made me cancel a lot of plans that I would have done. For example, going clubbing with my friends who I absolutely love. I love them so much. But I let them down because I lied and said I felt sick or anything. I made up an excuse not to go. And that's not because I was being nasty, it's because I could not do that, because if I did, I would have had a breakdown. I would have been an emotional mess, and that's the last thing they need on their birthday. But again, this comes in phases, so sometimes I can feel fine and want to go out and be like, yeah, let's go. Other times I really can't, and if nobody can force me, because I'd end up having a panic attack or anything, and I could not put myself in that situation, and I don't want to put my friends in that situation either, because that's unfair to them. But I don't have that problem at the moment because we can't go anywhere anyway. So actually I'm quite pleased about that, because at least then I don't feel anxious about having to go out clubbing or to the pub or to the football and having to feel thin and having to make sure I feel comfortable enough to go out, because all I do at the moment is work, which is fine by me. And that is the one piece of clothing that I am relatively comfortable in, and that is my work clothes, because I feel relatively happy in them. I don't feel massively fat or ugly in it. I don't know why. So often I wear that a lot, that's just me. I think, like I say, talking is so important. You don't have to say, I think I've got anxiety. If you just talk about how you're feeling, if you're feeling low, if you're feeling scared to go back outside, if you're feeling scared to go somewhere because you feel like me, you feel fat like me, then talk to anybody. Get in contact with friends, family, anybody, and they will help, because more than likely they know how you feel, or they know somebody who knows how you feel, because you're not alone. I know I'm not alone. I thought I was, but I'm not. But every battle is different and requires different responses and has different outcomes. Some people beat it, fantastic, and other people may struggle with it for the rest of their lives. Not through want of trying, but every mind is different. But I think I could talk about anxiety all day because it's such a massive problem, a massive mental health condition. But it's nothing to be ashamed of. And what I would say is, if you are feeling anxious now, during lockdown, if you were before lockdown, or you do after lockdown, then talk to people. Do things that make you happy, not other people happy. Listen to your favourite music. That's massive for me. Try and listen to happy songs or songs that you can relate to. That could be anything. And walking is massively important. Or any form of exercise, doesn't have to be walking. Any form of exercise is fantastic. Whether you do that in your house or you go out, then that's fine. Whatever makes you happy. But like I said, talking is the big one in my opinion. Talking helps. I know some people say it doesn't, but it does. Because once you lift that load off your shoulders and you share it, then it becomes lighter. And gradually it will become lighter and lighter until you solve it. And you will solve it. Get in contact with a counsellor. Counselling, I've had counselling twice. Both times it's helped me so much, and after I finished I felt so happy, and I really want to feel like that again, and I will feel like that. You will feel like that again, I promise. But just take it each day as it comes. Try and find out why you feel like you do. There's always a reason. Always a reason. Try and find out why. And if you can't, then just talk. Talk to anybody, your wife, your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your nan, your granddad, your sister, your mum, your dad, anybody, about how you feel. And then if you tell people how you feel, then you can work together and figure out how you feel better. I did that, and actually it has helped massively. My anxiety is nowhere near as high as what it used to be. However, I do still suffer with it. So it's quite easy for me to say it, but I know it is harder than what it sounds. I know that. But you can do it. And I'm sure you will do it. Because can't is not a word. Well, it is a word, but you know what I mean. You shouldn't say, I can't do something. Because you can. Because if you say you can't, then you won't. And there's the problem. My counsellor always told me the way to get rid of anxiety is to prove it wrong. So if you're anxious about going outside with other people, then most of the time, if you do go outside with other people and then you realise, well, what was I worried about? It's fine. Then you've disproved that anxiety. And that thought in your head is there, knowing I've done it before, I can do it again. I may be anxious again to do it, but I can do it, and I've shown that when I did it. So disproving your anxiety is massive. I did that when I used to have a fear of walking into rooms with big crowds, and then one time I did it, and I've never had fear of it ever again. And now I do it all the time, and I'm fine with it. So you can do it. Trust me. If any of you can't talk to anybody close to you, which is fine, then message me. Write a comment in the comment section. Give me your Instagram, or go on the About section of my page on YouTube and scroll down, and my Instagram is on there. Send me a message and I can help, and I will help, I promise. Okay. I hope you all look after yourselves, stay safe, and remember, talk if you can. If you can't, talk to me. There's always something positive in your life. You just need to find it, and you will. Thank you.